These are the RPG titles that changed the landscape of gaming as an art form and storytelling medium, giving us masterful cinematics, engaging characters, and worlds that take us deep into our imaginations. Join me as we talk about each of these legendary titles and relive some of those memories. Mass Effect. This game took narrative storytelling to new heights. Every choice you make has an impact on the world and your relationships and the outcomes of those who survive. In a 25 to 30 hour adventure that spans the galaxy, introducing us to new species and planets and a mysterious threat from deep space far beyond the range of space travel. You are Commander Shepard, the first human to join the Spectres, a highly trained group of specialized agents that protect the galaxy and all races in it. Your first assignment is to uncover why Saren betrayed them and what is the Geth doing working with him and turning people into mechanical husks. The gameplay at the time was also extraordinary for a game of this size and scope. You could land on planets, drive a vehicle to scavenge parts, complete side quests, and fight devastating foes. While on foot, you engaged in battle with various weapons and powers and a cover-based system with tactical commands for your allies. And when it comes to these allies, they are all so different and unique. Rex, a massive Krogan, the genius Asari, Liara Tassoni, and Tali Zora, and many more. They help to create a universe like no other. The legacy of Mass Effect is apparent in almost every major RPG today. The way the camera is used to focus on characters while they are talking, the dialogue will, and the deep attention to character development. And with a new game on the horizon, the excitement is still there, but these are big shoes to fill, so let's hope for the best, because this is a franchise that is loved by the community and we all want to see it succeed.
This is the 27th of Last Seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, the game that killed millions of Xbox 360s. While Skyrim is the best selling in the series, it's Oblivion that allowed that to happen. The first cutscene in this masterpiece started with the iconic voice of Patrick Stewart and music that just makes you feel like you have entered into an epic tale like Lord of the Rings. Waking up in prison with no recollection of how you got there and just happening to be placed in the cell that leads to a secret passage that is for the Emperor himself as an escape route. Before the demise of the Emperor, he asks you a favor to deliver his medallion, which sets you on a journey to find his son, who is a priest in Kavach, which just happens to be under siege by the forces of Oblivion. As you wonder about the continent of Cyrodiil, you are free to do what almost ever you like. You can be a thief, assassin, mage, vampire, or the terror of every town guard in the land. The game features nearly endless playstyles and possibilities. It also featured a unique AI system where the NPCs followed a routine no matter where you are in the world, and the world itself is beautiful, with grass, trees, and mountains covering the landscape. Taking the time to venture into the Iliad ruins offers a glimpse into lost civilizations, or entering a limestone cavern, the only source of light being your torch, or piercing through a hole in the top of the cave, gave a sense of fear and excitement because you do not know what lurks inside. It could be goblins, vampires, necromancers, and other creatures. The overall impact of Elder Scrolls Oblivion can't be overstated. It elevated not just RPGs, but all of the gaming industry through its fantastic gameplay, design, and freedom of choice.
Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain.
Dark Souls, while not the first of the Souls games, it is the one that set the gaming industry on fire, and it introduced a whole new style of game to the masses. Unlike its predecessor, it didn't feature the more linear level design. It incorporated a more Metroidvania style to its world, unlocking pathways to locations and creating loops for fighting and leveling your character, and discovering new weapons and items for upgrades, all while trying to survive, because dying meant the loss of your souls, which is your XP. Dying in Dark Souls had its consequences. You would respawn at the last bonfire, and every enemy would respawn as well. This mechanic alone forces you to get good and proceed with caution in this dark, twisted world. Combat of Dark Souls is slower and more methodical than other games at the time. It relied on your skill, timing, and learning the enemy's moves so you can know when the best time is for you to strike, whether it's magic, bows, swords, or fists, because mistakes meant death. The world itself posed challenges to overcome. The infamous Blight Town is the most notable, from working your way down to the bottom across thin planks and platforms where one misstep meant your demise, to the bottom filled with poisonous rot and monsters. Then there are the unforgettable bosses like Seath the Skellis, Grave Lord Nito, and Chaos Witch Kalog. Because of Dark Souls, we now have a new subgenre of games in the RPG universe called Soulsborne, and it has given us some great games as of late, like Lies of P. Its impact on gaming is rare and will continue to influence game for many years to come. This next game is a legend. When it launched on the PS1, it instantly captivated audiences with its unique static background settings and character designs. It has given us a movie, a prequel, and a spin-off game, and now is being remade. This is Final Fantasy VII. It defined the era that consisted of the best RPGs ever crafted. An ex-soldier joins Avalanche to put a stop to Shinra and their killing of the planet. While this seems like the big bad in the game, it's nothing to what's in store for Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and the rest. That honor goes to Sephiroth, a hybrid of the ancients that protected the Earth, and Genova, the calamity from the stars. He seeks to turn the world into his vessel, reclaiming his birthright. Final Fantasy VII also marked the first time we got to see a Final Fantasy title in 3D, and seeing the summons like Ifrit, Bahamut, Leviathan, and Shiva was an unforgettable experience. If you have never played the original, I recommend playing it before the remake. With its classic visuals, it just transports you to a different era of gaming, where story and music were just as important as the gameplay and cinematics. The emotion crafted into this game is incredible and is felt through every piece of music wrote for it. The PS1 Final Fantasy games were something special. In 1995, close to the end of the Super Nintendo, Squaresoft and Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi joined forces with the legendary artist Akira Toriyama and Yuji Horii, the creator of the Dragon Quest series, and gave us what might be the best RPG ever made, Chrono Trigger. This RPG to come out of Japan, created by these legends among legends, is a masterpiece. You are Chrono, who wakes up in his little village on the day of a festival where he happens to run into a young girl who turns out to be the princess. As they are joining in an experiment by Chrono's friend Luca, things take a strange turn. As Marl is then teleported through time, Chrono decides to follow and rescue her. His journey through time is iconic, taking you to prehistoric times when dinosaurs roamed all the way to the end of time itself. The combat was also a step up from other RPG games at the time. They took place on the same map, no longer transporting you to a battle arena. And with certain abilities at your disposal, if the enemies are close enough together, you can hit multiple enemies at a time, swinging the odds in your favor. I don't know if we will ever see another game like this one again, crafted with personality and love that will forever stand the test of time with its visuals, gameplay, and story. It's truly one of a kind. Others have tried to imitate it, but it's almost an impossible task to capture this level of magic. These masterpieces have not just entertained us, but they've become milestones in the evolution of gaming as an art form. Mass Effect, Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, Dark Souls, Final Fantasy VII, and Chrono Trigger have each contributed uniquely to the rich tapestry of gaming experiences. As we eagerly anticipate the future of these franchises and the emergence of new classics, let's celebrate the memories and emotions these games have gifted us. Whether reliving the epic space odyssey, exploring the vast open world, or conquering the challenges of unforgiving gameplay, or immersing ourselves in timeless stories, these RPGs have left their mark. Here's to the legends of the past, the excitement of the present, and promising adventures yet to come in the ever-changing world of RPGs. And if you enjoyed this video, would you kindly hit that like button and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.